one thing I've learned tonight, when one is 90 years old, it's quite easy to cry. I've had so much fun. I look around this room. There's so many members, so much happiness for me, and I can't believe what's happened tonight. You know, I got to use my notes, I think. I was all ready until you got to me emotionally. But being a Boy Scout was the defining experience of my youth. Had I not been a Boy Scout, and had I not had the experiences and learning of a Boy Scout, I would not be standing in front of you this evening. I'm so grateful to each one of you for your part enabling hundreds of disadvantaged youth here in the Mid-Peninsula of getting a jump start on their journey through life through scouting. And I'm so thrilled, and I'm so happy, I'm so pleased to look out here and realize what each one of you has done. You are giving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of young boys on the Mid-Peninsula a chance to have the opportunity that I had as a young boy giving to scouting. I did some 75 years ago. So thank you so much for all you've done for scouting this evening.
Before I say anything, I want everybody to notice that that's my Girl Scout uniform over there. It's pretty old, but it's still holding up, and I'm still proud of it. Well, Bob expressed his thanks on our behalf to the Boy Scouts, and I would like to add to that. But I have lots of reasons to thank both the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts because, as you've heard already, scouting was very, very important to both of us as we grew up. But I have a very personal reason to give thanks to the Boy Scouts. And it's a story which I have not told to many people, but now tonight I'm decided to tell you. It goes back, it's almost like a fairy tale. It starts in 1935. In August of 1935, Bob, he was 14, he had just received his Eagle Scout, and his troop went across country to go to the Boy Scout Jamboree. They had never been across country before. And on August 27th, 1935, the troop was in Glacier Park. And Bob saw with the other boys, saw the beautiful frozen lakes that many of you perhaps have experienced in that beautiful park. And he stepped onto the ice of one of the lakes, and it promptly broke away from its mooring and floated out into the middle of the lake. And there he was in the middle of the lake on this piece of ice, and he couldn't get back. And as Bob has told me the story many times, he really feared for his life. He said that he came closer to death that day than he did during World War II when his ship was kamikazed. It was quite serious. But the Boy Scouts were there, and they were prepared, and somehow they saved his life. Well, that was, as I told you, August 27, 1935. And later that day, actually at 8 a.m. in the evening, at a place far away, Cincinnati, Ohio, my mother was in the hospital, and she gave birth to me. So the day that Bob almost died, I was born. So I thank the Scouts because many years later, as many as you all know, because you're all our friends, Bob and I met, we fell in love, and I was given, luckily, a soulmate, a husband, and a partner for life. And as far as I'm concerned, it's because of the Boy Scouts. So I thank them. But I would also like to thank, as people have several times tonight, the honorary committee members who have been wonderful, the dinner committee members, and of course particularly Lynn and David. They've been recognized several times tonight, but they cannot be recognized enough. They've given months of their time. And what you see tonight, this whole event, would not have unfolded had it not been for Lynn and David's wonderful, wonderful creative and energetic work. And Bob and I are deeply indebted to both of them. We'd also like to thank, of course, the Boy Scout staff. They have been very professional and very, very hardworking. And then I'd like to also recognize 2 volunteers. You know, I've spent a lot of time in my life with nonprofits and with volunteers. I was head of VISTA, the volunteer organization, so I know quite a bit about volunteers, but I have never seen in my life 2 volunteers who were as committed, energetic, involved, time spent, whatever measurement you want to give, than Hank Scherf and Larry Christensen, and they deserve a big round of applause. They do this full time. Wonderful, wonderful work, and it's been fun working with you because you are so creative. And lastly, of course, the real thanks tonight goes to all of you. If you all had not come and as our friends and come to support the Boy Scouts, we would not have had the evening that we have. It's very difficult if you're ever in a spot like I am tonight and you look out and you see all your friends, not to recognize every single one of them. But whether it's friends or it's family, we have a story with each one of you. And we thank you so much. I mean, from my tennis partner over there to Bob's golfing partners to his insurance colleagues who are here tonight, to our family. Each one of you is so special to us, and we cannot thank you. Sounds like a cliche, but we cannot thank you enough for giving your time to come here this evening and to support the Boy Scouts and to celebrate this special evening with us. We thank you so much.
Let's stand up and give our honorees a big round of applause.
Everybody we know. This is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing.
Too much.
Thank you.
Hope you made the program.
Oh, well, I got some good news, Bob.
You got some good news.
Bob's so excited, he already wants to know how much more money we raised. Well, we are slowly coming to the end of our very special campfire program. We have clearly seen and heard this evening how both of you, Bob and Carol, have truly distinguished yourselves and your life achievements through family, friends, business, and the community. Through your leadership and the personal example of both of you set in contributing to scouting and community activities and the greater good for all, once again, congratulations. And now as we bring this very memorable campfire program to a close, I invite you to join us in a traditional Boy Scout candlelight ceremony. At your seat is a flashlight for each of you to keep as a reminder of this event, so we can get the house lights down. On the bottom of it, there we go. Press the bottom, and the end of your flashlight, hold it as if you were holding a candle. Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of Scouting, said this to scouts everywhere: I often think when the sun goes down, the world is hidden by a big blanket from the light of heaven, but the stars are little holes pierced in that blanket by those who have done good deeds in this world. The stars are not all the same size. Some are big, some are little, and some men have done small deeds, but they have made their hole in the blanket by doing good before they went to heaven. Try and make your hole in the blanket by good work while you are on earth. It is something to be good, but it is far better to do good. Think of Baden-Powell's words when you promise to help other people. In the tradition of Boy Scout campfires, we will close this evening with taps performed by Eagle Scout bugler Alex Markopoulos. That's a Boy Scout tradition too. Trying to find your way in the dark to the stage. Okay. Thank you all for taking the time to be with us tonight and pay tribute to Carol and Bob. And I'm very pleased to announce, hold on, wait for it. Let me add it up here real quick. With your additional support, we've raised another $25,000 to put us at $305,526. Woo! Thank you very much and have a wonderful night.